Very soon we were pregnant, and because of my work, I was traveling, and there was this time where Amulya was at a different place, and I was at a very far off place, where our first pregnancy, where she came to know that there's no heartbeat, and then she rushed to the hospital. There are no movements, and then she rushed to the hospital to check. There's no heartbeats, and we came to know that we had our first miscarriage, and that really broke our heart. In many ways. One, I was not there with Amulya at that moment, and to process that entire time, it was really hard for us. Like uh, we always thought like God is with us. We always thought like um, it's his blessing. He's gonna take care of it, and we kept praying for our child. We kept praying for each other, and the very first child, to know that we lost a child, uh, to it was just unimaginable to figure out what to do, and I think she had a own experience during that time.
Yeah, so I was not too happy. Okay? Like already, I know that God allowed me to be open, gave me the grace to be open to more children. And after I have been open, and then I was like, Lord, we were open. We wanted children. We were happy to have children. So why did this happen? Why this loss? Why did this baby have to die? Um, did I do something wrong? Did Kelvin do something wrong? There didn't seem to be a good explanation. And I came back to that verse. I was like, God, you inspired this verse. You help me understand that it will be good to have a quiver full. It will be good to have a lot of children. How can we have a lot of children if our babies are going to die? And this is our first child. So I was struggling. I was struggling in my faith with God. I didn't want to pray. I remember telling Kelvin, like, I love you, but I'm struggling to love God at this moment. And I'm not sure how to process this. So help me. And that is when God really used him to help us through that particular moment. And that is when Kelvin was like, um, our quiver is not empty. Though our baby is dead, our quiver is not empty. Because though that arrow is not with us, that arrow is now in heaven. And our child is in heaven and praying for us. And he is a warrior for us. And so God is still true to his word. And that is when it became real, much more real that, a child is not alive after being born. A child is alive from the time of conception. We experienced him within us only for 3 months. But for us, he is still a part of our family. So that is how we went through our first miscarriage.
And for us also, I think knowing that we are a parent now. It's not that we are not parents. We are parents now, because the moment we knew that she's pregnant, we knew that we are parents, and we are parents of a child. So it became very important for us. Uh, we had spoken to others also, and they had also mentioned to us it's very important that you name your child. It's important that you offer a mass and pray for the child, and that really helped us to have a relationship with that child, helped us to talk to God about the child. We named our first child Roswell, and uh, we offered a mass for Roswell. um, we were able to pray to God, and it gave us a solace. Like we truly, it's not a hope that we have. We truly believe that He is in heaven, and He's praying for us. Um, uh, and that gives us like a peace that we have a constant intercessor, and that is what we were discussing is uh, we felt that God really knew that we needed a constant intercessor, and that is why our first child had to directly go to heaven, because there's a greater plan, and there's a greater good for what it is, and that is what gave us that consolement. And following that, I mean, immediately we were still going through a lot to process uh, about if you have done anything wrong. Maybe uh, is it because of our travel, because of our food? Like initially, I remember we went to the doctors, asked the doctors, is there something wrong from our side? Can you tell us what went wrong? Why does this happen? We had a lot of questions to clarity. And even during that time, it was a Hindu gynac of different faith who told us, like, don't focus on what is lost. Don't focus on this miscarriage and figuring out what has happened. Look towards the future, because God will still bless you. With a child, you look towards that and move forward, and that really helped us, like, to not really dwell and just stick back to the old, like why and what and how, which things are unknown and uncertain for us, and to dig deeper in that, but rather to look forward to the future. And we look forward for bigger family. And then we were blessed with Oliver, our oldest son, and currently he's going to be 7 in few days. Um Interestingly, few years after that, when we were conceived again, the third time, uh, and we lost our child again. And
And this time after 5 months.
yeah,
We just heard the heartbeat, and 2 days later, he expired.
and it was the time during the pandemic, and it was quite a struggle for us to figure out what is happening. We were in a new place. We didn't know many people around, and because of pandemic, nobody could reach out to us. We were not able to reach out to others. To go to the hospitals were already filled with all the other patients and stuff. To be able to go to the scan, to figure out what is happening, to go the right approach. But I think even during that time, we felt the peace of God in us. We were not as anxious as the first miscarriage we had. Uh, I mean, we suddenly filled with peace, because even before the doctors said anything, we both knew, like, I think this is what has happened. We both knew that I think this is where it is headed. And we remember, after the scan, like, when we went to meet the gynac, even before we met the gynac and gynac telling us what it is, we both knew and we were prepared for that news. And when the gynac shared, like, this is it, we kind of came to know about it. But the the interesting part in this miscarriage was, we were actually able to uh, hold. We named our third child David, and we were able to hold him in our hands. We were able to uh, bury him. We were able to offer a mass for him. We were able to pray for him, and that helped us also to go through those that time. Um, yeah, and I mean, for you.
Yes, the strength that we received from the first miscarriage helped us through the next one. Just because we had come to terms with, yes, we have not lost our child completely. That child, whatever our life is, it's not just here on earth, and we have a life in heaven. So we have not lost him completely. We are going to meet him someday. We just not getting to experience him here. And having Oliver with us helped us also to, at least for me, channel my energy, be more focused. Like, okay, uh, we can. There is still joy. The joy is not gone. Maybe David is not with us, but it's not over.